Game up here. What do we got? We got the Bucks at the Jets, folks, and I'm sure y'all know what happened in this game. No, Antonio Brown goes a little crazy and kind of hypes up the Jets crowd as he's exiting the stadium mid-game. A little bit of mid-play. There's a photo of AB standing in the end zone, hyping up the Jets crowd while players are actively going on and off the field for the substitutions and all that. So, man, oh man, AB is done in the league. Bruce Arians has came out and said he's no longer a Buck anymore. And once again, folks, I mean, I don't want to hear, I hate everybody that gets on their high horse and all that. Remember, Bruce Arians at the beginning of the season, hey, Antonio Brown's on a short leash, all this. And then, we had the fake vax card, and then he was suspended for 3 games. And then all the Bucks receivers got injured, so they had to bring AB back after that 3-game suspension. And AB was now wide receiver 1 last week, and Bruce Arians had no problem activating him even though he was on a short leash. And Bruce Arians didn't want Antonio Brown to do what he just did this week, but they had to do what they had to do. Bruce Arians had to swallow his pride a little bit and activate AB last week, and then they get this, and then Bruce Arians has this kind of strong arm moment at the podium being like, oh, AB, no longer a Buck anymore, no longer a Buck. So, get off your high horse. You do anything that's best for you and all that. So stop with the high morality and all that, folks. You do what's best for you at every single point in your life, okay? Can we all just relax a little bit? So Bucks get the win because Tom Brady was clutch as heck. Once again, clutch ability. Tom Brady's got it, man. Down. They need a touchdown to win the game. Tom Brady with the final 2 minutes and 12 seconds, starting at his own 7-yard line, having to drive 93 yards here. Tom Brady. I mean, have we said this situation before in Tom Brady's career? Of course we have many, multiple, plentiful of times, folks. Tom Brady, 10 plays, 93 yards, 1 minute and 57 seconds out of the remaining 2 minutes and 12 seconds, drives down the field, touchdown, win the game. Antonio Brown walked off the field way before this, and then Tom Brady walks off the field as a winner again. Basically walk-off touchdown for Tom Brady. So, Bucks struggling a little bit early on in this game. The Jets were winning, scoring really consistently, decently. Look at this, folks. First 2 drives, touchdown for the Jets. And we are seeing some nice glimpses here of this Jets team being real solid. So, potentially, this Jets team could be really good next year. I don't know about full-on playoff contenders at the current moment, but we get great job scoring on the first drives of the game, usually with touchdowns, so they're scheming. We know the first 10-15 plays are scripted in every game, so that's great scripting by the Jets. They're now scoring in the second half of games, which, was a little bit of a struggle for them, so they're getting those halftime adjustments down. They're being competitive. Robert Saleh's looking decent as a head coach. Zach Wilson is showing some glimpses of good quarterback play, and we get the emergence of this wide receiver who's finally making his way, Braxton Berrios, who's a great just kind of gadget guy. He can run the ball, he can catch the ball. In these last 3 games for Braxton Berrios, returning kickoff for touchdowns, his big speed, his big gadget ability in the red zone. Braxton Berrios could be a huge fundamental piece to this Jets offense come next season. I want them to kind of build around Zach Wilson and Braxton Berrios, some nice kind of end arounds, getting Braxton Berrios speed in the slot and all that, and letting Zach Wilson, we know he's got a big arm, we know he's decently athletic to buy time with his legs and escape the pocket and all that. So I really kind of want to see Braxton Berrios as kind of the face of the offense a little bit come next season. So We'll see what the Jets do. Obviously, 4-12, no chance to make the playoffs this season, but it's all about building for the future, building for next year, and we'll see what the Jets do. I think they have some nice fundamental pieces right here offensively, and if they build upon that, they can win a couple more games next season, maybe compete for that last wild card spot, but overall be competitive throughout the majority of the season next year. So watch out for this Jets team, and I want to see Braxton Berrios featured, folks. Let's start here with the Jets since we've just talked about them. So here we go. Zach Wilson definitely needs to clean up the accuracy and all that, but we know he loves to sling the ball. So Zach Wilson goes 19 of 33, 57% completion percentage. That's the thing he definitely needs to work on. He's still a rookie this season, folks. So we're not, knocking him and saying he can't get better. Got to shore up the accuracy come next year. 234 yards, real solid, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and he didn't fumble. Braxton Berrios fumbled, so we'll have to scold him for that, but it's not Zach Wilson, so shout out to that. Rushing game was pretty solid. Michael Carter, 3 rushes for 54 yards. Austin Walter, 14 rushes for 49 yards. Ty Johnson, 5 rushes for 35 yards and a touchdown. Braxton Berrios, 2 rushes for 12 yards and a touchdown. So once again, the misdirection, using your speed and getting them, the ball quickly off the edge and all that. So once again, this Jets offense, folks, let's keep this in mind. This is going to be an interesting offseason for the Jets, and we'll keep our eye on it, and we'll update you obviously as we do. All right, and then who was Zach Wilson slinging the ball to? We had Braxton Berrios, leading receiver, 8 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Ty Johnson, 3 catches, 47 yards. Kenny Yeboah, 2 catches, 36 yards. Keelan Cole, 2 catches, 35 yards. Daniel Brown, 2 catches, 29 yards. And Jeff Smith, 1 catch for 13 yards. And once again, Corey Davis, folks, injured, for the rest of the season, unfortunate. But you get Corey Davis, your A1, Tier 1 wide receiver, your deep threat receiver next season. And then you get your Braxton Berrios, a little bit of a gadget, slot guy who's great in open space, who can win right off the line of scrimmage, slant plays and all that. This could be a really solid offense for the Jets. If you're struggling, Robert Saleh, call me up. I'll be the offensive coordinator. I've got visions. I've got some visions for this Jets team. You got to hear me out. So Jets lose, but overall, building for the future, we can see it. All right, and then Tom Brady, folks. Didn't we just say early on in the show, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, the only quarterback I want kind of throwing the ball, slinging the ball 45, 50 plus times a game because they get it done? Well, who just slung the ball 50 times a game and got it done? Tom Brady, okay? You got to be the GOAT, or kind of, talked about in GOAT discussions if you want to throw the ball 45 times a game, okay? And get away with it on Takes by Fans. Okay, so here we go. Tom Brady slings the ball 34 out of 50 times. Sheesh, 68%. Once again, GOAT shit. Slinging the ball 50 times, 68% completion percentage. That is absolutely fantastic. Love it. 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. The 1 interception came in the second quarter, and the Jets only scored 3 points out of it. Okay. We had no fumbles by the Bucs, so just that 1 lone turnover. All right, running the ball, we had Keyshawn Vaughn, 8 rushes for 31 yards. Ronald Jones, 10 rushes for 26 yards. And then Le'Veon Bell, 3 rushes for 5 yards. Unfortunate, Leonard Fournette, unfortunately not able to play last night, and they're definitely going to need him. This is kind of what's keeping the Bucs away from 100% Super Bowl contenders. We need playoff Leonard Fournette, folks. Need that man. He's fantastic. So hopefully this man can get back quick. All right, who was Tom Brady slinging the ball to? We had Rob Gronkowski, leading receiver, 7 catches for 115 yards. Cyril Grayson, 6 catches, 81 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Johnson, 4 catches, 50 yards. Mike Evans, 4 catches, 47 yards, a touchdown. Brashad Perryman, 2 catches, 41 yards. Le'Veon Bell, 3 catches, 30 yards. Antonio Brown, before he went off the field, 3 catches, 26 yards. And Keyshawn Vaughn, 2 catches for 14 yards. So Tom Brady in the clutch, folks. It's as classic as apple pie. No, Tom Brady gets the win, 28-24. And then, a lot of speculation on what drove Antonio Brown to do his thing that he did, walking off the field, quitting in the middle of a game. Well, obviously, the initial speculation was that Antonio Brown was doing it because of the incentives. If he was like, it was like 50 yards away from getting 300,000, a touchdown away from getting another 300,000, and a couple of catches, like 7 more catches for $300,000. So he could have made like another mil if he got 50 yards, 7 catches, and like 1 more touchdown. And he had this game and next game to do it. But the initial speculation was Antonio Brown. That Bruce Arians was actively not setting Antonio Brown out there so they didn't have to pay him that kind of extra million. And that just didn't make that much sense because you have 2 games left. You're in the middle of a game. This was like he did this in like the second quarter, so you still had the entirety of the game. The Bucs were down. They weren't up like 40 points where they're just running the ball. They're still going to throw the ball because they're down. Tom Brady was slinging the ball to the very last play, so your opportunity was still out there. So that never made any sense. But now we're kind of getting the official narrative at this point from Ian Rappaport. He says Bucs coaches told Antonio Brown to leave after he told staff he was too hurt to re-enter Sunday's game. So Antonio Brown said, hey, I'm too hurt. They told him to leave, and he left. That's all kind of what we've got so far. That's, as confirmed as we can get at this point because it is coming from Ian Rappaport, who is a trusted source in the media. So that's what they're going with. It's not the incentives. That doesn't really make any sense. But with Antonio Brown, does anything make any sense? But alrighty. So Bucs get the win, 28-24. Antonio Brown no longer with the Bucs. Alrighty.